Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another tantalizing episode of Illosophy, where we talk about all sorts of cool shit. Today, have you ever wondered why bacon and eggs are a staple breakfast food, or how a past media campaign of doctors advocating smoking certain brands of cigarettes was ever allowed? Look no further than Edward Bernays, the wire puller of the 20th century. When he wasn't busy manipulating the American public for the interest of business, he was name-dropping his famous uncle Sigmund Freud. He did this so much that Variety dubbed him a professional nephew. Sick burn. When America joined World War I, cigarettes were seen as unmanly, which is probably the reason why the Brits call them fags. Most men at the time preferred cigars or pipes. Edward Bernays began working for the Lucky Strike cigarette company and was able to link cigs as a fat-free way to satisfy hunger. Their slogan was, "Reach for a Lucky instead of a sweet." He was able to get Dr. George F. Buchanan to state, "The correct way to finish a meal is with fruit, coffee, and a cigarette," claiming cigarettes disinfect the mouth and soothe the nerves. Cigarettes were then added to hotel dessert lists, and home economic magazines began to stress, like sugar, cigarettes should be kept in a steady supply around the house. Sounds like my mother. The Lucky Strikes Company, under the guidance of Bernays, organized parades of women smoking, many of them attractive debutantes. Not only did he target women for cigarettes, but he aggressively courted black customers, saying, "I find there are 1 million Negro farmers in the U.S. We have just developed a close contact with the Negro press, and if Lucky's are the favored cigarettes, it may be possible to develop some propaganda along these lines." Also, quote, "Has anyone ever found out what the likes of the colored people of the U.S. are in regard to cigarettes? Menthol, Ed. Menthol." In the mid-1920s, bacon producer Beechnut Packing Company hired Bernays, who persuaded a famous doctor in New York to write colleagues asking whether they supported hearty or light breakfast. They agreed on hearty, and newspapers spread the word. When he worked with Simon & Schuster, Bernays persuaded contractors of the era to produce built-in bookshelves into new homes so that they could be filled up with Simon & Schuster books. It's also important to know what people thought of the man, and Supreme Court Justice Felix Frankfurter, in a letter to FDR, called Bernays a professional poisoner of the public mind. Joseph Goebbels used his book Crystallizing Public Opinion for Nazi propaganda. As Bernays once said, quote, "The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power over our country. It is sometimes possible to change the attitudes of millions, but impossible to change the attitude of one man. Our country is ran by social scientists. They might not be wearing lab coats, but don't worry, I'm sure they mean well."